Hi, I'm Kylene from MeetYourPsychic.com, and this is Soul Lessons. Today, we're going to be discussing a little bit about psychic readings, what exactly they are, how psychics receive their information, and how you can identify the difference between somebody who is authentic and somebody who is not. So let's talk first about what a psychic reading is. So if we first, let's come to common ground and understand first that everything in this realm is a wave of energy. They've proven that in quantum physics. It's not up for debate. When you get down to the cell level, you can see the different frequencies of really pretty much everything. And actually, when you get down to the molecular level of everything, there's nothing. It's just space, but that's for another whole topic. But focusing for just a moment on psychic readings. If you understand, for example, betting, and let's do kind of a little bit of compare and contrast. Now, I personally am not somebody who is really into betting. However, when they figure out odds for betting, they take statistics. They look at, so if Team A and Team B is playing at Team A's home field, and the last 10 times that they've had games that have been similar to this, with similar weather in this location, Team A has won. So chances are high that Team A is going to win again. Well, psychic readings are kind of like that. And let me elaborate. When somebody is looking into the energy of a situation and they are connecting with energies in the non-physical realm, whether they are spirit guides or whether they are angels, those energies are looking into the energy space of the person, the mindset of the person, what they have done in the past, where they are at in their soul development. They're taking all of these pieces into account. And if they're looking at a predictive reading, meaning what is going to happen, that's basically how they do it. It's kind of odds. Understand that nothing is set in stone. And when a psychic is looking into what can happen, what could happen, what is likely to happen, it is just that. It is a possibility. It is potentiality. And so understand that when psychics are looking beyond this moment, they're looking at what possibly could happen, what is most likely going to happen. You're thinking maybe based on the reading that something is guaranteed, that it's absolutely going to happen. And it's not necessarily. For example, let's say that you have a psychic reading and your reader sees you getting this job, sees you doing fantastic in this job. And so now you're in this mindset of it's already mine. And so because of that, you've kind of pulled back the intensity that was surrounding that situation. So maybe you end up showing up late to the job interview, or you're not as focused, or you don't prepare as much as you should. And then you go in and you don't have a great interview, and then you don't get the job, and then you're wondering why your psychic was wrong. So the best way to utilize a psychic reading is focusing on what action do I need to take to continue bringing this manifestation into my life. Ask your psychic very specific questions. You don't need to provide them all the details, but be clear. For example, if you have a conflict with John at work, it's much better as far as getting specific information to say, I have a conflict with John at work. How do I resolve this? What action do I take? As opposed to just saying, what's going on with work? Or how do I get John fired? Focus on resolving the situation. And when you focus your questions on action-based, even if the action is no action, if you focus your questions on action-based situations, you're going to find that the details and the information that comes through is much more clear and gives you a game plan going on. And so understand that psychics can read into the energy. They empathetically can pick up on your frequency, on other people's frequency. They can help you know how to adjust your communication styles, and they can absolutely look into that which hasn't happened yet. But it's important, as somebody who's receiving guidance, to recognize that nothing is set in stone until it actually shows up. So that's the first part that I wanted to talk about, that a psychic reading is really reading into the energy of what is, what has been, and what will be. Because see, working with angels and working with spirit guides that exist in the non-physical realm where time doesn't exist. Time is a human creation so that everything doesn't pile up on each other. And so it's non-linear in the way that we receive information. And so recognize that when you're receiving those prophetic statements of guidance, that they're just that. And you still have the ability to alter, change, stop, resist anything that hasn't happened yet. You are in charge. I'm also often asked how psychics receive their information. Now, of course, it is a little bit different for everybody. Some people receive it auditorily. It's like hearing something in their head. It's not that they hear voices that are different from their own. That would be great. It'd make it much easier to distinguish, but really it's just those whispers. Sometimes they feel it in their body. There's been times where I've been channeling, especially if I'm doing medium work, where my physical space starts to take on similarities to the person that I'm connected with. Sometimes we can feel it in different parts of our body. Sometimes we can smell it. But really the best way to explain it is what I've told people is that some people read sheet music. I read energy music. And so what a psychic does is that understanding, going back for just a moment to what we talked about in the beginning, that everything's a wave of energy, that we're just all frequencies. That if you think about the non-physical realm existing up here and the physical realm existing down here, and then there's a space between the two where people in the physical realm can connect with energies that are in the non-physical realm. And so in my perspective, what a psychic does is they alter their frequency. They raise their frequency up. They disconnect a little bit from their body, kind of reaching a hand up. And spirit guides, angels, different entities reach their hand down, and there's a connection. It's kind of like a telephone connection. What I'm doing when I'm connecting with a client is I'm connecting with them through breath. I'm inviting their spirit guides to step forward to communicate with my spirit guides because they have a relationship and the spirit guides have a connection. And then I have a relationship with my spirit guides. They know how to talk to me in my language so that I can communicate whatever message is important to get to my client. And so the way that I look at it is some people, like I said, read sheet music. I read energy. I alter my frequency enough to receive those waves of energy, those blocks of information, those messages. And so even though it seems really kind of hocusy pocusy out there, but it really is just a matter of altering your frequency and being open to receiving those messages and trusting what you're getting. If you're wanting to work on your own psychic guidance, there's lots of different techniques and little tools and tips for that. Like, for example, offering gratitude for parking spaces or for getting the lights to go all green, all those little things. But we'll talk about that another one in psychic development. But it's not that there's anybody walks this planet that can't be psychic. Every person is intuitive. The difference is some people have developed that skill so they can step into that place very easily. If you, for example, decided that you wanted to play saxophone and you spend a lot of hours running your scales and working on it and the fingerings and understanding the breath, then you're going to be able to do that and kind of get your head out of the way. Being psychic is no different. Now, some people, without a doubt, have a natural inclination to it. For example, if you've played saxophone in a previous lifetime and you come into this lifetime, or even just any instrument, you may come into learning music much more naturally. Same thing. There are some people, without a doubt, who've chosen that as a path, who've done it in a past lifetime. So it comes naturally to them. But every person on this planet has the ability to develop that intuition at different scales, but every person can develop it. The last part that I wanted to talk in our segment about psychic readings is identifying authentic psychics. Now, in every industry, whether it is the medical industry, whether it is politics, whether it is the psychic realm, whether it is teachers, you have people that are very, very passionate about their job, that have taken the time to really develop their skills and have a lot of integrity and are in it to help people. And then you have people that are not, that maybe they're burnt out or they're living in a place of lack. They're struggling with their own challenges. And so it is vitally important in any field that you go into it with a level of discernment. Couple of hints. Number one, if anybody says 100%, I guarantee you 100%, run for the hills. Why? Because if you're trying to, for example, bring back a person into your life, you're dealing with your free will and you're dealing with their free will. And you're also dealing with what is beneficial. And in that moment, you may think that the best thing for you is to bring that person into your life, when in reality, maybe it isn't. And so recognizing if anybody gives you a guarantee, It says 100%, it's not real. The other thing that to pay attention to and to watch for is their language choices. Are they using words that create fear? Are they saying that they are the only person that can help you? Are they saying that you have dark energy or you have a spell on your family or that they can fix it for you? Let me be very, very clear. There is no such thing as overriding another person's free will. You are so powerful and you have the ability to manifest anything that you desire. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy. It is simple, but it's not always easy. You have to be in a place of integrity. You have to be very clear about what it is that you want, and you have to make sure your actions are matching those intentions. It's challenging sometimes, but you have the power to do anything that you want. And if you have somebody telling you that they have to fix it or they're the only one that can do it for you, they're working from a place of fear-based energy. And it's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. And so recognize that if it feels too good to be true, it is. If they're saying it's 100%, run the other way. If they are feeding your ego, if they are saying, for example, when I say feeding your ego, you walk with a smile on your face, but you're sad in your heart. Or if they are saying that you're fine, but everybody else in your life needs to change, run. Because here's the thing. A authentic psychic doesn't really care if you call them back 15 times. They're not interested in trying to get a lot of money out of you because they're living in a space of trusting that the universe is going to provide for them. If they're truly walking this path as a psychic, as a healer, their goal is to get you to wake up and to love yourself and to own yourself and to progress on your journey. And so sometimes they're going to give you tough love. And sometimes they're going to tell you things that you don't necessarily want to hear. But if they're truly authentic, if their goal is really to help you to heal, that's their job, to be honest with you, even when it's difficult. And so if they are telling you that everybody else needs to change, which you have no control over anyway, and they're not helping you to see the tools or the actions that you need to take to affect change in your life, then it's not going to do you any good. And so if you are looking for authentic psychics, make sure that when you are doing your readings, you're bringing with you a level of discernment, that you're coming to the table wanting to know, what can I do to change? What can I do to evolve? What can I do to improve? Because you are the only person that you have control over. And when you send gratitude to the people around you, even when they don't necessarily deserve it, but you focus inward and you identify what you can do to evolve, working with a psychic can help you to take humongous steps. You can let go of karmic ties. You can let go of lessons. You can let go of pain. And you can really take humongous steps forward to manifesting exactly what you desire in your life. So seek a psychic that is authentic. Go into the reading prepared, knowing what it is that you want to understand about your world, your realm. Be ready to take action. Ask your psychic those questions. What can I do? What action do I need to take? Where do I need to forgive? Where can I focus to be grateful? Focus on what the information is. Be less concerned about how they receive it, whether it's auditorily or whether they are feeling it, whether they are using tools or no tools, cards or pendulums. All of the tools are really just a focal point. And so the more educated you can be about how to utilize your psychic, the bigger steps that you can take. Know that you are worthy and you are deserving and you are powerful beyond your imagination and you are so loved. And so reach out. Utilize psychics, work with people who have honed their craft and can pull in information from the non-physical realm to help you along your path of discovering yourself, of loving yourself, and of finding inner peace. This is Kylene from meetyoursPsychic.com, and this has been Soul Lessons. And don't forget to subscribe. Namaste.